Good morning, everyone. Today we have gone out and done what the Germans couldn't do and find the Maginot Line. This is one bunker along a line of many around the area that was supposed to defend France. I was inspired by a short that I saw of a guy putting like wax and wood chips in a can, and well, I've done the same because this place, as much as I want to, I respect the rules of establishments, and I respect volunteers' work to keep monuments clean, and so they have disallowed campfires. So I made myself a little campfire in a can so nothing gets dirty, so the monument is respected. But I also wanted to make crepes on a French bunker. So here we are. I have a few ingredients, and every time I do this, it's a bit, well, we'll see how it goes. So I got myself an egg. So we'll start making the snack, the food. So this is a half recipe. A lot of the stuff is imprecise. I already have a bit of salt in here because salt is nice. Next, one egg. Of course, double it. So the precise measurement, I don't know. I just sprinkled in a bit, but I believe it's a 1/4 teaspoon salt. So this is about 1/8, maybe. Who knows? We'll find out. One egg, because half recipe and all that magic. This egg will be thrown away, do not worry. We need a little bit of oil. Put this in a little Ziploc thingy. A little bit of oil, excellent, very beautiful. Next, where is it? I have a measuring cup somewhere. Next we do, I believe, 3/4 of a cup of, I'm going based on half recipe here. 3/4 of a cup of milk, so it's 3 of these, and then 2/4 of a cup of flour. I'm doing half recipe because it's nice temperature today, but I don't want to sit here for hours. I should have done the flour first, but we learn from our mistakes, or we don't. It's not that. If your mistake is not that bad, it's not too much of a problem. So now we get our flour. I don't think it matters what kind of flour unless you're allergic. Bah. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. One and 2, and I believe that's it. So it's a very simple recipe. It is crepes. It's nothing too fancy. And of course, a crepe is a nice blank slate. You can put anything you want on it. This is actually kind of unlevel, so I might want to see if I could prop it up. Excellent. So I have a bit of a mixing tool here. I don't know if this will actually work. I might just end up with a thing full of crepe batter, but you know, we deal with things as they come along. Like usually when I have more tools at my disposal, I might use a whisk. So these will become a little lumpy. It's okay, it's fine. They will still taste great. Make sure to break down the lumps as much as possible to incorporate the flour into and the egg as well, of course. Just really make sure those ingredients are mixed, otherwise you'll be eating a crepe and you'll just have a big lump of flour. But this is nearing about the best I can do. Oop, got a little bit out right there. Whatever. For the sake of progress, it works. This is such a beautiful day too. So I brought actually a serving spoon kind of thing to get the batter into the pan, but I might just pour it in from here and I might just have to deal with the fact I've got some lumps. I'm fine with flour lumps as long as they're cooked. It'll be fine and healthy to some degree. So now I got me some butter. It's got sugar or something on it. No, it's salt. I got some salt on it. Got a bit of butter. A little bit of butter. Never hurt anyone. Got this napkin I can wipe this stuff off on. Excellent, because I'm gonna use it to cut the butter, and there's like raw egg on it a little bit, so. We cut a wee bit of butter. Excellent. I don't know if I'm super allowed to just be up here making a meal, but no one's stopping me, and I don't see why not precisely, so I'm just gonna clean this up. Clean that up real quick, yep. And I'm gonna move a little closer, because I just realized I'm kind of far. So now we're gonna light up our wonderful thing, and hopefully it does so quickly, because I am not in the mood of burning my fingers right now. So there's this little twig that caught on fire, but hopefully it'll spread to some of the wax, catch everything else on fire. It seems to be doing well. Can's starting to get warm, fire's starting to get big. While you're here, might as well check out some of my other stuff. Can in the fire can will make a reappearance if this works well, because why not? I can't cover it, of course, because it'll go out, but there's also a good chance it burns my hand right here, but you know. Making a lot of smoke. Oh, it's melting the butter. We are part of a success story right now. A lot of wind, though, which is a bit unfortunate for the fire, but oh, wow. Actually, what I might do while this heats up a bit. Oh, yeah. Maybe this is a bit dumb, but if I put like 2 sticks right here, they will burn, yes. But hear me out. Actually, even better idea. We will douse them in water first, and then put them on. Yeah, they'll cause a bit of a uproar among the fire community, but it won't burn, is my hope. And my hope is the wax in there, the fire actually keeps burning. That would be actually quite nice if it did that. Boom. So now it won't lose oxygen. The logs underneath it won't burn. The only issue is it's not very stable because, well, this is the, I don't know, the combatants would poke out guns out of these holes, I imagine, to disperse any people who found themselves on top, as you do. We got our beautiful batter. And so, of course, it's a very sloped space, I guess, because it's, I imagine it kind of mirrors what's going on down there. Yeah, it needs some oxygen. We can get our butter going. Where did I put my... These might not be the most lore accurate crepes because it is a rather small pan, but just the fact that the butter is melting gives me a bit of hope, okay? And hope is all we got right now. There's a nice busy road right next to me. Super busy, one of the busiest. I'd appreciate a bit more of a collaboration from the wax, honestly, but Actually, since the people said no campfire, I think I should take these off, just for the sake of... I don't want to break the rules too much, you know? We are trying to be respectful. Though it is a little tiresome to just hold it like this, but in the future I will get a better solution. For now, we deal. It's fine. Okay, and we are going to try to pour some in just for a little test. Delicious, I know. As they say, the first crepe always comes out a little wonky, and oh boy is it wonky. This might not actually be hot enough, which would be kind of an issue given that I'm trying to cook on here. It's a rather thick crepe as well, which is always a bit fun to deal with. It's always fun when the pan isn't hot either. Right now I think I'm making pudding by legal definition. We're actually learning a bit more of an interesting phenomenon over here rather than the whole actually trying to cook. There's like wax vapors or something. I have turned it into some kind of like weird gas. As you can see it down there. And it's doing some interesting stuff. Would be nice if it like cooked though. So lessons for next time: find a stand, for sure. Holding it is not a solution. Second, air holes, so I don't have to ignite it myself over and over. But hey, look, it's cooking. We might make one successful crepe. I'm kind of excited. Stoked. Unlike this fire. We may try a second crepe. Actually a crepe this time. I know. Kind of crazy to think about an actual crepe. Maybe it was also too much butter, you know? It's a very real issue in the crepe industry. Too much butter. So you get this butter boiling a little bit. I also learned, because someone told me after watching the video, told me personally that French toast, you're supposed to not soak the bread in the egg mixture. And that makes so much sense, because I had to like burn them to make them sort of not raw. And I was like, surely I'm doing something wrong. Maybe there's like a really picky temperature you need to cook stuff at. But you know, maybe I'm just bad at it. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm just bad at it. Turns out I am bad at it. But for like different reasons than I originally thought. This pan hot at all? Kind of. Not enough, you know? Know that feeling? Hello again. The crepes didn't quite work out, and sometimes you just have to be prepared for... Oh, there you go, sliding away. Prepared for things to not work out as planned. Let's see if I can't find a nice willing piece of wood to be caught on fire and thrown into the... See if it catches everything. Yeah, it looks like it. As I was saying, the crepes didn't quite work out. They kind of look a little strange. So we're gonna enjoy our canned fire. And I'll put him over there. I think he's gonna look real good over there. But since we're on it, might as well indulge a little bit and learn some new things about the Maginot Line. With our cute little fire over here. I also even have some sugar packets. Maybe that will cause something fun to emerge from the fire. Maybe not. Shall see. See, we're still getting issues with the cloud of wax stuff. So when I look up the Maginot Line on Wikipedia, this dome-looking thing is a common appearance. So it might be just a bunker thing. I'm not super knowledgeable on bunkers either, I have to be honest. But the Maginot Line kind of ran from... At the time, it was around World War II. I'm actually not sure when it was built. That's an excellent question as well. So, the Maginot Line was built to prevent a German surprise attack. And so, in this area that I'm currently at, I guess, is like, I believe, still Upper Alsace in France. And the French border... Anywhere that the French border touched Germany directly, they built these massive bunkers, and it seems around where where France's border touches Belgium, it becomes a little more sparse. And unfortunately, that is how the Germans got into France and went straight to Paris to capture the country, I guess. So that's a bit unfortunate, but that also means that nowadays when... Well, maybe the Germans are still a threat, I don't know. Nowadays, when you're walking the French countryside around Upper Alsace and other parts of France that are directly touching the German border, if you go walking into the woods a little bit, you can easily find a bunch of small bunkers. This one I found because I was biking around and I was like, whoa, that's a big installation. And then I looked it up on Google Maps and there were like a bunch more in the area. And I was like, what's going on here? Are these German? And I looked it up and it's the Maginot Line. And so I always thought that they were a bit further away. But Germany, the German-French border is longer than I thought. So it seems also that Alsace and Lorraine was returned by Germany to France in 1918, which is why I think a lot of people around this area still speak German. Plus, border disputes in Europe is no new thing per se. So this land was returned from the Germans to the French after World War I, and the French seemingly immediately started building up defenses, because I imagine you can build something like this pretty quickly, but the Germans got back to war pretty quickly after giving this land back up. So it's just a big scar on a lot of countries around here, except Switzerland. I imagine they got damaged too somehow, but much less than the other countries around here. And so I just thought it would be nice to make some crepes here because it's a French bunker that probably had French people in it that were stressed out at some point. Maybe they would have liked crepes, I don't know. But the crepes didn't turn out so well, so I'm sorry, French people. Sorry for offending y'all, probably. I didn't know this fire wouldn't be quite... Like, I can stick my hand over it right here. I thought it would be a bit more powerful, but I think the heat generated from it is not the best in the world. I think if I had made a proper fire, it would have gone a lot better, but alas, well, we deal with the situations we have, I guess. And it's not a terrible situation to be in. I still have my nice little fire in a can that I can extinguish whenever I want. It's very cozy. And I can do a fun, I don't know about fun, but some kind of like vague ADHD-induced history lesson, you know? That's all the craze nowadays. And on the war side of stuff, I guess, building it was a generally bad idea due to how in the beginning of World War I it was kind of like a lot of people on foot, and then they found out that they could build like tanks and armored cars and planes and better planes. And so by World War II, I think the French possibly, I don't think it was completely useless, but maybe it wasn't the best use of resources given possibly a war-torn country that has lost millions of people in World War I. So struggling a bit and dumping probably like millions of francs, or I think that was the currency they had at the time, into building a bunch of concrete stuff along a massive border with Germany. Probably wasn't the most amazing idea. I don't know how stuff seemed at the time. Hindsight is 2020 and all that. People nowadays, from the Google searches I'm seeing, people nowadays seem to think that it was very likely a second world war would happen. Based on how people call it, the war of all, to end all wars, when they talk about World War I in media or just in what people called it, I guess. It didn't seem that they thought another fight was happening, and so I guess they also weren't quite trying to adapt their strategy because they were used to trench warfare, which I'm not going to get into because it's just a yucky subject. Yeah, it's just a bit sad, I guess. Some people, whoever wrote the article I'm looking at, argues that the money could have been better spent towards building new weapons and new strategies and tanks and whatever else, but I don't know much about history at the time, but I can take a quick guess that this money would probably have been better spent on general infrastructure for the people, possibly improving living situations of people displaced by the war, and the soldiers, of course, that came back changed. But I think they were probably doing what they thought best was at the time. That is definitely a sentence. I think they were trying to do what they thought was best for the country at the time, but politicians, they're always a bit insufferable, so who knows what the people really wanted at the time. I don't know if there still are people from that time. Maybe there's like one or two, but man, this has gotten a little bit sad. Which it's allowed to. Stuff's allowed to get sad. We're allowed to feel our things. I just didn't mean to bring what I initially thought was going to be like a really cool idea with something that it would have definitely worked. I didn't think I would bring it down so much, but here we are. Anyway, I'm going to take a little walk around just because I really haven't shown off the building that much, and I think it's pretty interesting. Hopefully the people that were around here won't be around here anymore. But this is safe burning as it is. It's chilling. So I crossed a little bit of barbed wire, but I'll just, this here's the bunker. It's quite large. Could probably fit a whole lot of people in this. A few cannons or something, I don't know, artillery. This seems to be the entrance. Thank you very much for joining. We have a beautiful sunset that I'm now blocking out. Let's see, yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for joining me on this crêpe adventure. Take that as you will. It didn't work out so well, but you know, we got a nice conversation out of it, I guess. And thank you so much for joining. Check out my other stuff if you want to. Subscribe even, I don't know. You don't have to. Catch you on the next historical rant.